What's up, YouTube? This is Rudeus here, and this is going to be episode 3 of season 3 of Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. So the first 2 episodes, we get back, we kind of rewind back to Eris's point of view and how everything went on her end. Now, would we have liked more coverage on Eris right now? Honestly, that would be great, but I think what we got here was still really good in all matters. So yeah, it's kind of, so it really adds to more of her character context and how she was doing. I also like how, even though there are limitations of and they couldn't explain everything, I think they really did. Did the whole explanation with how she was training and like how certain skill how certain techniques, certain certain styles, and also they had to kind of do the battle thing. The battle thing, they kind of had to do it non-verbal because that's not very easy to That's not very easy to explain without sounding like just a whole info dump. Otherwise, we only have that like Hunter x Hunter kind of dialogue, and I don't think this is the kind of show that would benefit from it. I feel like that kind of tricklets of it needs to be explained. Like it does need to be explained a little bit better at some point, but I feel like what they did here was pretty good. So. A lot of people were just saying like, why are people not recognizing about how the Emperor, King, and then I think there was another one, King and then Saint, how they were organized. So yeah, that's kind of like there's Saint, and then there's King, and then there's like Emperor, and then there's God. So and then Farion is from Nina's dad, was is the sword god, and I like how he is. I like how what I also like is how these characters are kind of displayed. Nina, of course, Nina came off not a pretty bad impression considering how much she tried to look down on Eris and how she was accepting of trying to play petty against Eris. With the whole like metal sword being hidden and all that, but she gradually grew to respect Eris and try to shape it up herself. She gotta do her own training instead of just trying to look for ways to try to mock Eris. Eris is just kind of just too focused, and with her how she was so focused, and like you gotta think like, damn, she hadn't properly rested, or she only just plopped down whenever she's tired. Like she never probably had a proper meal. She hadn't showered for years, and I say years because remember, we're in a time skip where you see her physically getting older, and you have to think, when was the last time did she? You have to think. You have to roll all the way back, like maybe like when the dead end basically split up. That was probably like the last time they were together, like when they maybe had a shower, I'm assuming. That's when she lasted, but she was just so focused on everything that like the moment like someone just went, hey, you might want to wash up a bit because your boyfriend's not gonna like it. Not gonna like it when you come back to him, and Eric just looking like, oh. It just occurred. The fact it just occurred to her that she'd be sticking up the whole plate. Like when we say aura, like are we like? It's so confused. Like when we talking about the her actual battle aura, like it's kind of the sort of energy that it is, kind of like how magic is, or are we talking about the stink up that she is? But like, no, it's more like when you say aura, it's more like actually her is actually the kind of it's referring to battle aura, and that's also kind of a disadvantage that she has in where like she's making shit too obvious, but because of what Rudy told her, she's trying to get people to move, to move as much as she wants, so she can, so she could just brute force her way through. And the Water God style users don't usually react to that, and that's why she had a bad matchup against Isolde, which was a really good addition to the cast. And the way they, the three, Eris, Nina, and her were able to, cooperate and, grow together. As much as I feel like, as much as I'm bummed out that it was kind of a bunch of that was done off screen, I feel like what they showed there, it gives us was still really nice. So I'm not too mad at. I'm not gonna fuss too much about that. What I got here was great, and yeah, that's all I'm really gonna say. So the whole thing with Nina, I like how they showed there was a concurrent event where we did see Nina in season 2. She did try to find She was trying to find Rudeus. I saw I saw from some screenshots that there was some design changes, and it's obvious because there's a whole new anime staff, because considering how season 2 did not handle itself too well. But it's kind of one of those arcs that I don't know if I should have rewatched season 2 in Blu-ray, but whatever. I'm not really too. I might try to go back to that, but I don't know. It's a little too late right now. But season 3 seems to be a lot better. Seems to be a lot better off so far, but just for now, it is because of it. We get to see Eris, and we've missed Eris anime-wise for quite a while, so it's nice. But we're back to Rudeus, and now he is spending his time with his family of 2 wives and 1 baby, and a baby, and we're gonna see how we're gonna go to Rudeus's daily livelihoods again. So don't expect any shonen ass hype shit. I mean that's kind of a given, but we ain't here for that. We're here for story development. We're here for character development. We're here for like seeing how these characters interact. Now how it really just kind of adds to the sort of feeling that this show gives. Like it's not just some sort of grandiose story about a hero. It's just a man trying to live with less regrets than his previous life, and that's as honest as it can get. And I do not care, and I'm not gonna go into this whole thing of like Rudy being likable and whatnot, and what he did and what he's done, and the whole moral pragmaticness of it, but because that's such a hellhole of a discussion. If you've seen Reddit and Twitter with this sort of brainwash shit that is going on, yeah, that's why I hate it. I hate it, and it doesn't deserve it, because this is generally like if you're uncomfortable with some of the stuff in there, it's like sure, but just remember there are anime out there with far more uncomfortable moments, uncomfortable contexts, uncomfortable subjects that make me more uncomfortable than whatever got here. They're out there. They're meant. You don't even need to look that far. I am just telling you. And if you don't want to believe that, not my problem. But anyways, let's just get to it. All right. So, Jesus Christ, it's summer, man. And hopefully I got the last episode. Jesus Christ, it's all right. I'm sorry if this I'm sorry if like my hair just kind of look dingish as hell, but whatever. I'm just gonna roll with it. All right, so let's get to it. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's jam. Okay. I don't expect a whole lot of shit to happen. But where's one? Like not yet. I mean, it's kind of the usual sort. sort of slice of life sort of thing we got going on here. And oh yeah, I forgot the arm, the stump. That's cute. She's holding his hand. Pray to the goddess. There we go. The third, what? The third eye on her chip. Oh yeah. Why you look so dejected? Oh, the dog, the pet. I like how the earrings look. Mm-hmm. Really? He looks more like you in elf form. Come here. There's no need to hide. You're part of the family. Oh, he was great. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. His mom's mute. Oh yeah, the manga did say something about writing more about the Spurbs will restore them, restore their glory. Selfie, man, she is Anna just like yeah, she looks fine right now, but like the way she is just Zen's is just at this point she'll be mute forever for the rest of her life. Hey, Aisha. Is this is this Aisha Sanchi no Gohan? You know what? Never mind. I was about to say something, but I don't think it matters here. Seems really eager. I'm still so bothered that his hands one of his hands is a stump. it's gotta be hectic, when you're basically you're married, you're technically parents, and you're still going to college. You still going to college? Yeah, I've had high school friends who've been in that situation. A few of them. Now she's just busy as usual. The guy in the back. Wow. Oh, ayo, public display of affection alert. Come on. What the fuck? Fucking dog ass right here. That's not shit. No, it's like, no, it's like, bruh. Literally, bruh. Norm's is. I'm glad to see like Norm's doing a lot better. I don't think she's. I'm sure it's really still hard for her to to accept this sort of family that Rudy's having right now, and probably gonna have an additional one later soon. Oh yeah, I mean, Paul did leave. Paul did kind of leave her to him, man. Oh yeah, considering when you if you there was a spin-off manga for Roxy that kind of goes into a little bit of that too. I kind of remember reading all of that. It was nice. She she's like Roxy is just as modest as ever. Oh, you're the two troublemakers here. They're my they're my wives. What? Why would I not? That's what. Hmm. Zaboba. Did I just call him Zaboba? I'm sorry, Zanoba. Zanoba. My bad. My bad. Oh God, what'd you do this time? It's about the rock. It's about more Roxy figurines, right? That that's not a very horse cop, but that doesn't that's a little concerning. It doesn't sound like the one. It doesn't sound like the kind of cough which is you trying to clear your throat. The normal one. It's just. Yeah, you're gonna have to tell him. You're gonna have to tell him at this point. Gotta come clean. Just say it. Just say it, my guy. Well, actually, never mind. You can wait for later. He's like, ah, shit! I was just about to tell him. Oh no. Well, this is awkward. I hate that the panel now, like the window is just showing and it's just shining like that. Oh well, she got out the bag already. Oh, oh no, man. I mean, at least he's not like raging about it. As he would like he would have if he was much younger. It's like, yo, man, you really just got a second wipe behind my back? But he's gonna be taunting him about it, every now and then, though. I'd feel. Oh yeah, Norm. Oh yeah. And then you guys just returned with a second wife instead. Yeah. But like, shit just happens though. So like, he's not gonna make. I don't expect Rudy to always make the best decisions. But like many of his decisions, like I'm pretty sure can be still relatable to some degree. Now I'm not trying to put myself in his shoes, but it's just like, yeah, I can kind of at least understand where he's coming from. I don't need to think that too deeply about it. I mean, yeah. Otherwise, he would be lose. It'll be more than just a lot than just a missing hand. Well, it's an unconventional immunity. Wait. Just a glove? Oh, wait. Oh. Oh, we about to go Full Metal Alchemist in this bitch, huh? Oh, here we go. Congratulations, Rudeus. You're now a Full Metal Mage. I'm just kidding. That's actually great, though. Why is it like General Grievous? Dude, calm down. Oh, you're gonna try to fire. Try to see if you can try to fire through that fire through that artificial hand. Oh yeah, it works. Oh, I thought you missed for a second. And you just create a light little rain shower. Why not? Why not? Yeah, we got a new name. Probably gonna name it after some sort of RPG he remembers in his past life. Oh, never mind. Zalef? I was expecting a cool name, but okay. That's version. I'm looking forward to 2.0 version. Damn, that's all. God, that's like this thing is like a fucking the kind of beast you'd imagine from the Ice Ages. Aisha. Oh yeah, he should just notice the hand. Yeah. But then now I have 2 hands up. A lot is an understatement. What's he doing with it? Oh, the little shrine. Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is that you just can't take this for granted, so you just pray every day, every night. Oh, new ending. Wow, that episode breezed by really fast. Yeah, wow. It's not even like doesn't feel like a whole bunch of crazy stuff happened. It just kind of just passed by like that. Oh, we got errors. Wait, that look wow. The aesthetic looks similar to the I think Kingdom to the season 3 Kingdom opening. I think because I remember. I don't remember if yeah, it was season 6. It was season 6. That the aesthetic was similar. Oh yeah, that plays. Nice open, nice ending. I was about to say opening. Water King class magician. Oh, here we go. We're starting to get some to more stuff. So I'm not gonna lie. I would not be I would not be mad if like if an entire episode of a season of Mushoku Tensei was, or at least just a single core of Mushoku Tensei was just slice of life stuff, because that's how it is. I mean, it's kind of like when you do slice of life, it's slice of life. So that means it's kind of sort of, I mean, and it would make sense because this is the biography of Rudy as Greyrat, and it would be boring to a lot of people, but I would find this a very, very I was throughout this entire episode it instilled a very comforting feeling, like just watching him with about his daily life, to how he goes to school, and and how he's spent interacting with his family and all, and how Roxy is still just Roxy, like not like, aside from the fact that yeah, it's awkward now that she's part of his family, his wife, one of his wife, but not much, like he's still not a whole lot has kind of changed, but it kind of makes things a little awkward too. I mean, the fact Norm was kind of against is still apprehensive about it. Cliff had something to say about it, but they're understanding people. I mean, I don't, and when you, and this is what I really like about Cliff is what I really like about Cliff here, what he said right here, and I feel like this should be a norm. Is I know you don't share my religion. I don't say anymore. Okay. What I like about it is that like this is what really low-key heartwarming is when people with different beliefs, different religions could just simply coexist. Could just be okay with one another. And I feel like this is something that isn't as empathized as it should be, or isn't as prioritized as it should be nowadays. Because nowadays we're getting at each other. Nowadays, if you see like how we are right now, people are just getting at each other just because we have different beliefs. Like even to the point of where religion goes into how we consume media, and it is just crazy. And I won't lie when I say I get caught up in that too. But like that's only because I always end up encountering some of the bad apples, and you know they're just and that's unavoidable. And you kind of think, you know, you kind of have to think if Rudeus is going to encounter these sort of people too. Not saying that's made necessary for him to, you know, to be put into the story, but like trying to think like, what if he runs into people who has his different religion, who don't agree with how he does things, try to take offense to that, just like how a lot of the haters are trying to take offense to that. How does he deal? You have to think, how will he deal with those sort of people? How do Cliff, like with someone like Cliff, and you know how Norm is just kind of like, well, Norm was kind of there, but she is still family, and there's the thing, and there's always that, you know, emotional weight just going back to, you know, her their late father, and you kind of think like, yeah, Rudy's is not like, we're not trying to say he's a saint. We're not trying to say he's pure heart. Like we're not, but he's definitely not he's definitely not evil. He's definitely far from the he's definitely far from the shitty person we were first introduced in the very first episode, in the very first few episodes of the story. But he's really come quite a long ways, and whatever tendencies he's had, that's going to be given. That's something that just doesn't go away. It just doesn't. I mean, we're not here to watch him become a monotonous just warrior of justice, like a certain fucking character from Shield Hero, which is, that would just make his character far less interesting from an objective perspective. And this is also an issue that I also have with Tensei as well. Rudy is just too goody two shoes. Like, yeah, he gets savage when he puts down people, but that's only because like they're going against him. There is not much moral grayness in that matter, and that's fine because Tensei is just kind of how it is. It's fun. It doesn't need to be that complex, but it's still a point of comparison. Yeah, I don't really have much to add here. It's just a kind of a wholesome episode, and well, I'm just gonna say this. Like, I know I say it's like a Full Metal thing, but you know, it's kind of like but it's not really metal. I just kind of made the joke because it's a prosthetic hand. Still, it's also still a prosthetic hand, but like it's still kind of nice he was able to, you know, to actually have a hand, and you know his friend, and you know his friends are, you know, looking out for him. So yeah, good on that. It's kind of interesting to see, like, will that help him be able to, you know, how that will help him get back when he needs to go back on the battlefield again. Like, it's inevitable at this point. He is He is considered one of the 7 great powers at this point, or like actually at least close to it. I don't remember if he's necessarily classified. Well, at least he made a name for himself. So I So like he's considered someone formidable. He has a lot of rep, and so he's gonna run into physical conflict at some point in time, and it's gonna come back to him. Like look at the KV, like what he has to encounter. This this girl right here. I mean, we're gonna talk about her later, and then of course Orsted, which I know we're gonna see again during this core, not just as a hallucination or a flashback. We're gonna see him in person for sure. I'm betting on it. I am betting on it, and whatever. And there's also, and the way it is, I know there's gonna be that big twist coming that is going to really set the story. Set the story on a quite a turn that's gonna staple itself as to why this story is so important, why and what it is going forward, and why it's not just a typical isekai setup. It doesn't need to subvert anything. It doesn't need to be a unique or a deconstruction. It just needs to tell an honest and good story. A story that can be consistently engaging, if it's wish fulfillment, yeah, it technically is, but it's not the conventional type of wish fulfillment. Because I'm not gonna lie, right now, I'd rather not be in that. There are points where I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I'm not in Rudeus' position. I'm glad I am not. Because no way I want to fucking run into a dragon god. No way do I want to lose my hand to a hydra. No way do I want to be teleported to an unknown place via mana, and not so sure if I'm gonna land in the, just be dropped from the sky or whatever. And I don't want to be in a position where I have to handle errors early on. Yeah, why? That's not how the wish fulfillment works, that's not how a conventional wish fulfillment works. I'm sorry. I feel like people will really need to look into the nuances of that. Because if it was really just the most conventional whatever nothing burger wish fulfillment ever, you could just look at all the junk ass isekai seasonals. They do a better job at that. I don't know why Mushoku Tensei is just thrown into that. If you could just say you're uncomfortable with some of the stuff with how Rudeus is, or some of the suggestive content in it, that's fine. That is perfectly reasonable. And I hate that I have to bring this up every single fucking time. But people are way too sensitive nowadays, and it doesn't help. 10 years ago, this would have never been a fucking issue. But somehow it is. And there's a certain fandom that is making this shit worse. I'm not going to name who they are. I'm not going to say who they are, but I'm pretty sure you could just take one or two guesses about it. But anyways, great episode, even if it's just a slice of life episode. And yeah, can't wait until the next one. Smash that like button, everything in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter, support the YouTube channel, join the Discord server, share the video out, all that other good stuff. But that's going to do it for today on Mushoku Tensei Season 3. Research and signing off. See you next time. Take care. Stay safe, y'all. Have a great day. Peace out.